Grant, your team beat the supposed best team in the world by 3 in a pumping. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, we did our prediction video. I said we had to be perfect, and I predicted a 2-2 win on Pens. So, I mean, I think that kind of sums up everybody's mindset. We knew we had to be perfect, but even still, this team had shown so much, PSG, throughout the whole season, throughout this tournament, that they were the best team in the world. They were forced to be reckoned with. No one had an answer to them, including 4 English teams en route to their Champions League. So I think, like we said on our preview, there was only one way to beat them, and it was to play the way we know how to play. And we went band for band with them. And from minute 1, I was like, oh, it's a good start. And really the first 10 minutes, really good. Palmer had a gilt-edged chance that he missed. And I was thinking, oh, man, like I might be thinking about that for the rest of my day if he hit that. And then he had 2 more chances, and he was calibrated. I mean, big game player, big game plays. João Pedro for the 3rd. I mean, couldn't believe it. 3-0 at half, and then the halftime show. I mean, I'd be furious if I was on the other side of that. But yeah, I think we exposed some weaknesses. We attacked that right-hand side. I'm sorry, their left-hand side, our right-hand side. I think Maresca deserves a ton of credit for the way he set this team up. I mean, I feel like probably every game this tournament, every time the lineup comes out, there's always some unease within the fan base. I think a lot of people are like that, but it seemed pretty consensus throughout the tournament. I think Lavia Fit probably plays for Reece James at DM, but he put Reece in midfield, Mallow at right back, back 3, Chalobah, Colwill, Cucurella. Again, we thought, or at least I thought, Tosin would be in there. Palmer on the right, Neto on the left, 3-man midfield, Caicedo, Reece, Enzo, João Pedro up top. And I think we saw it throughout the game. Gusto pretty much held the width in possession. Winger, Palmer tucked in. Enzo and Neto are on that left-hand side. So again, that 3-2-5 we've come to get used to. But I think Reece James was really good role just to kind of cover for Gusto in terms of the transition situations. Obviously, we know he's comfortable defending there. Caicedo does what Caicedo does. I mean, just standard for him at this point, what he does for that midfield. But Neto was pretty much playing wing back, marking Hakimi. Enzo Fernández was on Vitinha duty pretty much the whole game. We pressed in that 4-4-2, and it was really fluid. Like you would see Chalobah or Colwill, even Cucurella as well, get really high in their press, but we had cover. So the team, it looked like a team. The way we've been praising PSG and saying how good they play as a unit, that's what we looked like. We out PSG'd PSG in that sense. We played a very similar style, and we did better. 1 through 90. The second half never really felt too cagey for me. Obviously, we didn't get another one, but I didn't think they were too much of a threat. And yeah, the game, I could be more impressed. I was always saying I'm kind of cautiously optimistic these past few weeks, kind of what I'm seeing with this team. But I think I'm done with the call. I've seen enough. I've seen the mentality that these guys have. Talking before the game, we're going to win. We're going to play our way. They asked Maresca, you guys are going to have to suffer without the ball. He said, who said that? You know what I mean? And then we go out and beat them 3-0. But, I mean, each player deserves some praise. I think Robert Sanchez, we've talked about him quite a bit. I think it's unanimous from all of you guys. He's one of the worst goalkeepers in the Premier League since signing for us. I think he's been that bad. He's been really bad. These past few months, he's been unbelievable. I think that was probably the best game I've seen from him in our shirt, because the shot stopping was elite. I think there were at least 3 or 4 saves that were very impressive. But his distribution, I mean, he played that long ball for Gusto on the first goal. And throughout, I mean, even not just the long balls, like smart in between the lines. I was terrified of that press. But, man, Robert had a fucking brilliant game. Now I'm seeing people say he's earned the spot, and he probably has. Personally, I still have the shakiness, right? The sample size I've seen, a big percentage of that pie chart was a shaky goalkeeper, but he's been top. If we go into it, I will the same mentality that I did at the end against Forest. After we won that game, if you told me we're going into next season with Robert, be very disappointed. If you told me now, I can absolutely live with it. long term, I still think there needs to be an upgrade there, but I don't think we should. He was fantastic. Left back Cucurella, I mean, asked to do yet another role. He's back three on the left side, pressed Mark Due out of the game. He didn't really have much to do. I thought Cucurella was fantastic, but again, we've talked about him enough. Colwell, I mentioned him here and there, but he was immense again defensively. Oh, Cucurella, he had that stop earlier before we even scored, cutting off that Due cutback. That could have absolutely turned the tides in this game. So yeah, he's been top. Colwell really becoming a leader in this team, and I've been on him a bit, but I think he's grown into the player we've always kind of hoped he would become. Even at this young age, he's already a leader on and off the pitch, and I couldn't be more happy with him. The nonchalant gimmick seemed to have gone, and now he's a defender. You get defender energy from him now, which is kind of what I want. Chalaba, I mean, a year ago, he got kicked out of the preseason tour, not allowed to travel. U21s, sent to Palace. And in January, gets recalled. And he's been immense. He was immense in that game as well. I don't think it was just Skelly had nothing all game. Got hooked pretty early in the second half. Dembele, again, same thing. I think Chalaba was unbelievable in that game, and he deserves so much credit, praise. We still might sell him. I think it'd be really hurtful, really harsh. I'd love to keep him. I've always kind of been on that. But he was fantastic. Gusto, I mean, he's been pretty bad most of this year. He played his best game in our shirt. It was a similar role that we saw last year from him. But, yeah, he looked so confident. Defending, again, Kvaratskhelia, really quiet game. And Gusto, there's a ton of praise for that. Caicedo and Reece. I've spoken enough about them. Enzo Fernández, you see him crying at full time. He pushed us when we were awful. I guess he saw the last slide of the PowerPoint, which we have on the screen. He must have seen that because he fought tooth and nail to come to us when we were in 12th place, and it looked bleak. Suffered through a year of Pochettino after that. So to come into this team and re-earn his spot, wear the armband for us on countless occasions, he's proper. Neto putting in an absolute shift. João Pedro straight off the beach to doing what he's been doing. I couldn't have told you that. I wasn't a huge fan when the rumors first came out. I was wrong. No problem. And then Palmer. So Palmer does. Simple. It's that simple. Yeah. It's the Ballon d'Or on the right. It's the Ballon d'Or. Dembele deservingly is going to win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. No,
but Conference League is not a very. You can't really come to the table with this Champions League, Conference League, but we will be there next year. We'll be in those conversations. That's what I see with Palmer. I mean, down year he had 31 GA. We love talking about GA. Couldn't hit a barn door for 4 months. This is the level of player we're working with.
Yeah. No, you to summarize your points there, everybody played at 8 out of 10 at the very bare minimum. And it honestly,
and they all deserve that credit.
100%. I think everybody involved in the team for Chelsea deserves some form of credit.
Dewsbury Hall put in a shift.
Yeah, even I think that everybody that's been questioned so far about Chelsea and what they've done, all the answers have been kind of rectified. I mean, you guys have gone out with this kind of crazy philosophy, and it works. Look, I'm not going to say that spending $1 million is like the hardest thing in the world, but it definitely is not the easiest thing. And you guys did it, and it's worked. And we're going to see kind of the progression as we go along here. But it's all culminated to this World Championship. I'll stick on Cole Palmer because I think he's the main highlight that I got out of the game. The kid's class. He's kind of cemented himself as the best cam now with KDB leaving. For me, I just think that he has that much impact. It was interesting seeing him not score for a while, and also Palmer on the right. Like, it sounds like that's what we're going to be getting for most of next season. I think that's just his best position is when he has space.
Palmer put in a shift defensively too.
Yeah. All the questions that I've had about Cole Palmer in terms of taking a superstar leap kind of have been answered this year in terms of like when you're playing at your worst, like what's your baseline level? And now I'm seeing what the baseline is. It's just a 7. Like there's certain players where I just kind of look at the baseline. I'm like, you are 7 every game. Palmer's one of those guys. Not sure what Mila or Facundo have. Obviously, Facundo, you're the anti Christ when it comes to Chelsea. So how are you feeling?
I feel like I've had enough conversations with Grant about this, but I've always been on been of the opinion that Chelsea were on their way back. I think PSG played a pretty sloppy game for their standards. But I did think that Robert's distribution and that creative way of getting Gusto up the pitch, running in behind Kavicha, I thought was pretty creative. I'm not worried about Chelsea in transition games or moments like that where they can just play through you quickly and then get forward. We've talked about it enough. I think their next step is really against those teams that sit back. That's kind of the next evolution for them. But I don't know. I thought they've played really good game. Palmer was impressive. I thought Gusto and Sanchez were honestly just as impressive as those guys. João Pedro.
All of them.
It's just a little bit of confidence. I like that they have the versatility between Delap and João Pedro, in which one is more of an out-and-out 9 and the other one's more of a – you can call him a false 9. Honestly, I think he's a really great overall 9. Like, he's just really comfortable dropping into midfield in those deep spaces. So, yeah, I want to hate on Chelsea, but I can admit when they do well. Like, we'll see what happens this season. I think for them, the next part is maybe just a transfer or two in the defense and really solidify that. I think they have a lot of attacking options. I think they have a lot of midfield options. It's just really, like Grant mentioned, the defensive side of the game and the intensity in which they play. I think that's what let them down at sometimes last year was just lack of intensity, whether it's pressing or just defensive structure. So if they can be a unit like they were in this game, I think they're a threat in the league, which is exciting because you potentially have 4 teams that are fighting for the top position. So, yeah, as much as I want to shit on Grant and Chelsea, I think they were pretty impressive in that game.
I want to get Mila's opinion on this a little bit because honestly, like that game reminded me a lot of some old City play where, look, I'm not a Chelsea, I'm not an Arsenal fan, I'm not a City fan. I don't like your guys' teams. But in terms of just enjoying the way that you guys play and watching the way you play, that reminded me a lot of old City.
I mean, I think that makes sense. Just
like,
based on the core of their team, our manager literally his only previous experiences City. So
half our 11.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that, and it's not a bad thing at all for them. I think it's working, but there's definitely going to be their own take on it. Our players are not their players, so obviously there's gonna be tweaks. I think Grant talked about that tactical versatility already. It was great. I had a great game. Honestly, it's a tournament at the end of the day, so anything can happen. And on the day they were perfect, and I think on the day as well, PSG were far from it. That's a whole different conversation on their ability to play high intensity games back to back to back. But in terms of Chelsea, I think they're on the right track. I'm not too high yet. I don't want to get too high yet, just because, like I said, it's a tournament.
On the moon.
Yeah, you should be.
You should be.
But just as a Premier League viewer, I think you got to take into account that Prem is not a tournament. It's a long, hard, grueling battle. Yeah. So that happened to be the issue last year. If it was just 20 games, 15 games, Chelsea could have ran away with the title. Could have. But
times.
It's not. Yeah. It's a long season. So we're going to see how they deal with that stamina season long, I think is the main takeaway. Or not main takeaway, but what I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah. It's
really
a worry for me.
Yeah.
It's a worry. We're back in 3 weeks. I mean, That's the agenda if we fall off, by the way. Like, we're just going to put that out there now. We had no off season, yeah, bro. We just had to go straight back.